purge on some mod. Show him the dick print, then hit him with the rod. The love doctor tell you how to get the Ichabod. Crane, Adam Rowe, Colin Wayne. How do they maintain when they clinically insane? You keep it so loud that we spitting your refrain. Adam Story got a point if you let him explain. Get the pun of all puns, get a pun with Papa Wayne. Rum tapping the vein, and 9 minutes bringing pain. MHOG secreting, leaving a stain. You ain't as dope as us, bitch. Stay in your lane.
To the MetalHandOfGaming podcast. I am your host, Wayne, and these two fine gentlemen are
Adam the Great
and Rum the Magnificent.
Oh, you got to one-up me, huh, motherfucker?
Oh, I was just Wayne. Fuck.
Well, we all had to one-up you, but that's not that difficult.
Fuck both of you.
So, gentlemen.
Yes.
It's been an amazing week.
Has it?
Has it?
It has. It has. It has been a very sad and just really tragic week, though. But it's been exciting in the sense that lots happened, such as Aretha Franklin passing away.
Oh, yeah.
That does suck.
I mean, it does, but you know, we all have our time, and she had hers. I mean, it's sad, but
people die.
You know, what was kind of sad to me though. Like the day that she died, my coworker listens to this radio station called WWL, and I was supposed to be training with him. I would sit next to him and do his job, and he would sort of shadow him. And I had to stop after 2 weeks because this station is insanely aggravating. It's the worst kind of talk radio. And so I was sitting at his desk the day that she died, and he leaves it on. Whether he's there or not, it stays on. And I hear them say, now that Aretha Franklin's dead, who do you think should replace her as the Queen of Soul? So that was their topic. And I was like,
wow.
The bitch barely fucking hit the ground, and you're talking like, number one, it's not actual royalty. We don't pass the crown on to someone else. And I mean, Michael Jackson diddled a lot of kids, and he's still a king of pop. That was a long silence.
I just well, I you know, that might have been distasteful, but I don't think it's any more distasteful than
it
her.
It would have been distasteful if I would have said he's the king of pop and cherries. Go on.
Her state, her net worth, and it's all being. She didn't have a living will, or any type of documentation. So of course everything's being divided up between her 4 kids, who are which was like over $89 million.
Ooh. She definitely got some RESPECT.
Yeah, I say so. She got it. That's for damn sure. The problem is now they're all fighting over royalties to her music.
Let them fight. That's on them.
That's just, to me, that's just distasteful.
Well,
this soon after her passing.
I guess she spent more time like becoming the queen of pop than she did raising decent kids.
I guess. I don't know. But to answer your previous question, it might have to be Mariah Carey.
I don't think that's going to happen. I love Mariah Carey, but she had a good run of probably about 10 years, but she hasn't really been anything in a long time.
Well, I don't know.
By the way, real quick, because I mentioned our respect earlier, did either of you hear the eulogy that Al Sharpton gave?
No.
Oh no, not even close.
Okay, I didn't hear the whole thing, But at some point in it, he was like, and all she was asking, I don't know where that voice came from. That's
that's the stereotypical Al Sharpton voice.
You know what?
I knew it was.
I'm just gonna go with it. Let's just pretend like that voice made sense. And all she was asking for was a little RESPICT. Tell me what it means to me.
It means hooked on phonics. Did not work for him.
I am not kidding. You can Google Al Sharpton RESPICT.
Wow. Just wow.
Way to go, Al. Way to go. I guess he's got to look at somebody and go, hey, you fuckers who wrote this, y'all ain't funny.
You know what? It was actually worth Aretha Franklin dying just to hear that.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh wow, yeah. A lot of people you wouldn't expect were making speeches about Aretha Franklin. Like everybody from the soul and R&B community to the metal community, people were writing little snippets and articles about. Even President Trump got in on the action with the memorial speech.
What did he say? Like he fucked her in 79?
No, he was he was kind of vague with it, but he was like. Someone asked him, said something like, did you know Aretha Franklin passed away? Aretha Franklin? He was like, yeah, she was a good lady. She did a lot of stuff.
Hold on.
She did some things.
My voice was bad. This is almost.
Well, I wasn't trying to do Trump.
This is almost as bad. I just want to point that out because
I wasn't doing Trump.
I at least called myself out.
You're the only one who hasn't done Trump.
Speaking of which,
I just find it funny that his whole thing. It sounded like he didn't even know who she was.
I do want to mention real quick. We're not going to discuss this general subject, but so he's getting in trouble. He might actually be indicted for campaign finance reform over the Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal thing because his lawyer flipped on him. What's amazing is his defense is and this is actually going to be his defense, and it might work, which is fucking amazing. His defense is that he didn't know it was a campaign finance violation because he's had sex with so many women and paid so many women to keep quiet that's just a regular thing that he does.
That's fucking incredible. Honestly, I hope it does work because that would be like the biggest pimp move ever.
Oh man, well, I'm so torn because I hate everything about the fact that the presidency is this freak show, and it has been. I'm saying it right now. I've said it many times. Has been for a long time. It was a freak show. Honestly, it was a freak show since it's been about
Clinton 20 years.
It's since Clinton for sure. But at the same time, I mean, it's definitely at its max now, though. There's like I hated Obama, but Jesus, yeah. But there is the part of me that can't help but be amused by this shit. Oh,
I'm loving it. To be honest with you, it's like McDonald's to me.
He fucked so many women. And paid so many women off that he didn't.
Well, I don't see why that's a bad thing.
I don't either.
Because he was married to most of these women. I mean, not to.
Well,
he was married when he had the affair.
I understand that part of it. I mean, but he didn't use campaign funds.
No, but look, I'm not.
If he would have used campaign funds, I can see it.
I'm not an expert on how all this works. My understanding is that anything that is an expenditure that is intended to affect the campaign, meaning the reason that he was keeping this a secret wasn't because of Melania. He was keeping this a secret because they were afraid if it got out that he had sex with this porn star, that it would have hurt his chances, when in fact he probably would have gotten more votes. if that,
Agreed.
That's the hilarious part. He should have just let it all come out. But there's a lot of people who've said for a long time campaign finance reform's necessary because, there's a lot of weird rules about it. But I'm not a campaign finance expert by any means.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, again, this isn't a subject we really need to get into too much depth about. But
no, it never did make sense to me if I mean, of all the things that I'm not a huge Trump guy by any means. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't understand the. But we need to be focusing on better things than this. Well, that's all I'm saying.
That's the stupid thing about it. So, like, all this started because he's being accused of working with the Russians to directly affect the outcome of the election. They haven't found any evidence of that. They've found evidence that he talked to them, or that parts of his administration talked to them about maybe doing something. But there's no evidence that anyone actually did anything. So instead of that, they're trying to get him on like all this other nonsense.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's the three-ring circus of the American political system now. So let's move on.
Yes, it is. But yeah, let's move on. Wayne, you said you had a bunch of stuff. Tell me.
I did not say that. You were fucking lying to me.
Well, you need to have something, man.
You're lying to like the entire audience.
I'm sorry, Ted.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6 of you guys.
Ted started listening?
Yeah, Ted's listening now.
Ted listens all the time, man.
This was dedicated to Ted.
Okay.
Oh, you Teds out there?
I didn't know.
Every Ted. There's definitely got to be a Ted that listens.
I mean, there's not a lot of Teds anymore.
Well, it's a dying name.
It is, but the problem is, like, and black people started this, but white people like took it and ran with it over the last, like, I'd say 15 years.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, blaming the white people again, for crap's sakes.
I blame the black people first. But no, like white people are getting like, you can't just name your kid Mike or Bill or something like that. That's too ordinary. Like your kid's name has to end in Aiden now.
Oh yes, I heard. Yeah.
No one's doing that.
And
nobody's doing that.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah,
nobody's
dude.
doing that.
Oh yeah.
Aiden's a name, but no one's making up weird shit.
No, it's got to end in Aiden. So it's like Braden, Jaden, Faden. Yeah, oddly, nobody's naming their kid Raiden after the God of Thunder.
Or Iron Maiden.
No.
So I was at the doctor's office today, and the little guy brought his little kid in, and his kid's name was it was Diesel. Oh, it was something ridiculous. It didn't go with it. Diesel Andrews, and then his middle name. I'm like, that was a horrible name for that kid.
His middle name was like
It's Andrews. No, his middle name was Andrews.
Oh, okay. Diesel Andrews Fletcher.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous, But I was like, Diesel's not. That's just a dumb name for a kid.
I would name my kid Diesel. It's a strong name.
Yeah. You would name him Diesel because of Vin Diesel.
Actually, that's the only reason that I wouldn't name it that. I'm not like, you make it sound like I'm a big Vin Diesel fan.
No, well, you are, dude. I've seen your room, man. You've got the picture and the cardboard.
Rum,
you are the biggest Vin Diesel fan.
Shut up,
that I know.
Rum, there's more pictures of you in my room than there are of Vin Diesel. Excuse me. Pictures. I'm sorry. Posters.
I just want to say
Paul Hogan.
I just want to say same.
Me and Paul Hogan, right?
Macho Man?
Paul Walker?
No, Paul Hogan, the Australian guy.
Yeah, the Crocodile Dundee?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't have any. I mean, I would. I guess it never occurred to me to get a Crocodile Dundee poster.
Well, I always figured you was Crocodile Dundee.
They're supposed to be going forward with that Crocodile Dundee 4.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it.
Did you hear that?
Recently, within the last maybe 3 months or so.
Speaking of movies, did you not see Sharknado, the final one?
I did not see it yet.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Don't ruin the amazingness that is Sharknado and the time warp.
It's what is it? It's called Sharknado. It's about time.
It's called, at first it says the last one above it, and then it says Sharknado, and then underneath it says it's about time. But it's basically a time travel.
Yeah, it's time travel.
Really?
Sharknado. It's worth it.
I kind of want to watch that now.
It's very, very cool. In a shitty like special effects version, it's actually, in my opinion, the worst special effects of any of the Sharknados.
Oh, that's bad because the first one was pretty shitty.
But this This though, they took the ultimate bad special effects and just blew it up with this amazingly shitty story, which it's just absolutely awesome. It's a must see.
Is it the same cast?
It's a bunch of extra people plus the original cast.
So
the original cast is in it. There's apparently I can't give that away because it'll ruin the movie, but
it's everyone who's alive from all the other movies, and it's plus more.
And there's special guest appearance of Offspring, the band.
Ooh, that's cool.
In the Revolutionary War.
Oh, that's even better.
You know, I don't know if it should be the final one. I think they need to do a spinoff called Sharknado.
And it'll be like a bunch of Afroed sharks?
No, it'd just be sharks versus black people.
That's fucked up. Why do you want to kill all the black people with sharks?
I don't want to kill all the black people. I want black people to kill sharks.
Because you know, black people don't go by the water.
That's right, but it'd still be Sharknado, so they wouldn't have to go by the water. I got all this shit figured out. I thought this through.
My bad.
Oh no! And
you wouldn't watch Sharknado.
Have not watched enough Sharknadoes to know how to stop the storm.
Nah, I've watched 2.
Wait,
I've seen all of them multiple times.
Hold on. Y'all wouldn't watch Sharknado if it came on.
Oh, I definitely watched that.
I couldn't do that.
Why not?
It would seem like it's making fun of the original.
But it's part of the series.
No, it can't be part of the series because this is the last one. So they're just making fun of it. It's a spoof thing.
No, it'd be a spin-off, okay? Ian Ziering.
You can't have a spin-off. There's no spin-off of a Sharknado.
Ian Ziering comes in and he introduces Chris Tucker as the hero of Sharknado.
Oh Lord, Chris Tucker. Yeah, he needs work though.
Wait. Seeing the sharks that are coming out of my mouth?
Well, I thought you were trying to do Depression of Rum going, my leg, motherfucker got my leg.
That one too.
That's pretty much a Chris Tucker impression.
No, I just think it wouldn't make a lot of sense. And anyway, a spin-off of a Sharknado is a shark spout. If it's over water. Just saying. And
you ruined it, Rum. You
I'm sorry. I'm just telling you. That's the science behind a Sharknado.
Okay. So I have an announcement.
Dun, da, da, da.
Okay, thank you. I was hoping somebody would act like they gave a shit for a second. Like, I have an announcement.
Well, I was actually about to do something, but Ron beat me to it.
Okay, well, there was silence. But so I don't know if y'all remember last year, Kyle. He did it in December, but he gave up weed for something called Sober October.
Correct.
Okay, so I was thinking yesterday about a few things, and I decided to do my own version of I was going to say Sober October for some reason.
Ooh, Sherbet October would be fun. Tasty too.
Ugh, I hate sherbet.
So you can give it up easy.
Too fruity. Yeah, that's true. So for Sober October, I'm just going to give up vices. It's going to be kind of like Lent.
Okay. So vices. What are the vices that you're going to give up?
So first and foremost, no politics, no porn. What?
This is going to be like fucking Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Why?
Because you're going to be sitting there going, what is it? What does he say? No something makes
all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what you're gonna be. Yeah, that's gonna be you.
Anyway, so also social media. No watching YouTube videos. No Facebook. No Twitter. Let's see what else.
What are you gonna do? Read?
Yes, actually, among other things, I'm gonna actually try to make productive use of my time. Also, no video games either. I'm actually.
Well, you don't play a lot of video games anyway, so that's.
I've been playing video games a lot lately. It's just I'm playing the same games over and over with.
Oh, I gotcha.
So it's easy to give those up.
No, I mean, because I've been playing. Like I said, I've been playing games a lot lately. But I also on my cell phone games, I play those all the time, and I have been.
I never play games on my cell phone.
Well, I do it to pass the time, but so I need to. I'm cutting that out.
I do more constructive things like reading.
Right. So, and also no chocolate, no ice cream, and drinking nothing but water for the whole month.
Oh, that's good. You're gonna get healthy doing that.
Wait, but haven't you been drinking nothing but water anyway?
No, I still drink like orange juice and lemonade. So every once in a while, I'll have a soft drink. I need to cut it out.
Stop
Sometimes, you're just thirsty, and that's what's there. So.
Well, I mean,
that's good, man. That sounds like a good thing.
I haven't had a soft drink in almost 2 months.
Liar.
Good for you.
Seriously.
No, liar.
No, I'm not a liar. I'm being serious.
So if anybody wants to, I mean, you don't have to do the same things I'm doing, but if anybody wants to join with me in doing Sober October.
Well, all of us can't jump on the same things because we definitely do need to have social media to push our show out there. But
it comes out anyway.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
You don't have to give up social media. I'm just saying you don't have to do any of the things I'm doing. I'm not necessarily.
Well, I'm going to join you, Adam. I'm going to give up some things.
Are you going to give up alcohol for a month?
I think. Well, that wasn't really on the list.
Right. I'm actually going to challenge you, Rum. I'd like to see you give up alcohol for a month. Just one
alcohol.
Month. I'm not even asking you to do it annually. I'm just saying this one.
I give it up. I give it up once a year for Lent.
The entirety of Lent.
Amy and I do Black Fast. So.
And you made fun of sharknado.
Yeah.
Does that mean you don't watch any Rudy Ray Moore movies or
nothing like that? No.
What's happening or anything like that?
I haven't.
That's what Black Fast is.
No, it's a little different, but we do two different things. She does Black Fast because of her some of her family tradition falls into that, so I'm just supportive and I do it with her.
That's sweet.
And then we do but in the same breath we also celebrate Sabbath and stuff like that. So
Black Sabbath.
But yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to give up some stuff, Adam. I'm with you. I have a list in my head right now that I can give up.
Let me hear some.
I'm going to give up rhubarb.
Nice, because you're allergic to it.
I'm going to give up. Coca-Cola.
You don't drink it.
You see how they do me here on this fucking show? Like I know
I'm doing this is serious stuff.
I'm gonna do something good and healthy for myself and try to separate myself from vices. And like
I'm kind of proud of you, Adam.
I'm proud. But that's why I'm trying to be supportive. I'm gonna give up licking manila envelopes.
That is your lying voice, Rome.
I'm gonna give up licking manila envelopes. I'm not lying. I'm not doing it. Fuck it. I'll get the pretty sticky ones. Man, I don't need to lick those things. It just makes my tongue feel weird.
Oh my God, you're hurting me.
I'm going to give up
y'all are shitty
bubble wrap and lamb shank. Fuck that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it because I want to make this try. I'm going to make this tough. I'm giving up lamb shank. Whew, I feel good.
Adam, I support you in your
Twizzlers.
ways,
I ain't
man.
doing it.
I agree with what you're doing. I think that's cool.
And I'm gonna drink more good stuff like juice. I don't drink a lot of juice. I should drink more juice.
Yeah, let's do like the juice and kill it.
Especially you need cranberry.
Yeah, cranberry juice. I'm gonna start drinking. You know what? Because I want to be healthy. I'm gonna start drinking some more cranberry juice and get on a regular pee schedule. I'll be good. I'll have no worries.
But yeah, Adam, I'm with you 100%, man. I think that's fucking cool.
Me too. I think it's great, Adam.
Yeah, let's just. Move on. Let's just move on.
What?
I'm with you, dude. I'm trying to be supportive here. Come on.
What do you think?
What do you want me to give up?
We all know what Rum should give up, but that's not going to happen. What should Adam give up?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I mean, it's what you feel good about, man. That's what it's about. Giving up the things that you love. That's a hell of a commitment.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have any trouble giving up you.
Ouch.
Oh, that was hurtful, man. Because you know what? I just sit here and I be supportive. I'm like your rock, man. I'm a pillar, holding you up.
You're less my limestone and more my Lyme disease, to be quite frank.
Speaking of giving up, Nicki Minaj gave up her North American tour. Did y'all read that?
No. I did not.
Yeah, she said, "Fuck y'all."
What'd she give it up for? Was it for?
It was for the October.
For the October thing?
Yeah.
That's nice. Good for her.
Why did she quit her tour?
I don't know. She just it just was announced. That's what it was posted. Like Nicki Minaj just gave up her tour for North America for some apparent reason.
Nicki Minaj is one of those people I'm ashamed to admit I'm attracted to.
Same.
She's following Amy and Nikolai on Twitter.
Well, that's cool.
She loves Amy's comments and likes all of Nikolai's pictures.
Are you sure?
That's kind of weird and cool at the same time.
Yeah, it is. She's like, she calls him sexy pup. She's a big. She loves the dog. She's like 3 or 4 dogs. So she's a big puppy activist.
Nice.
I mean, she's a rapper. Are you sure when she says she loves dogs, she's talking about actual animals?
Where my dog's at?
Oh, hey, fun fact. When Snoop is 60 years old, he will be 420 in dog years.
I don't even.
Fun,
no.
Fun fact.
That's nothing fun. That's funny. Not fun. No.
I liked it. I thought it was funny.
It's true. So there you are. Run with it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Do you ever smoke the hashish?
No.
You ever do the hashish?
No.
I've had hashish browns.
Was that like a neighbor girl?
Yes, Rum. Yes, it was. Nobody cracks you up more than you do, Rum.
No, I've got to make myself laugh on bad days. You got to.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Are any of you guys familiar with a show called Lazy Town?
That sounds familiar.
It was like some kind of television show in the 90s, I guess, a children's show called Lazy Town.
Oh, then no.
One of the I was just curious. Just one of the characters died today. He was 43 years old. So crazy. He died from cancer.
One of the actors.
He was probably just really inactive, and he just wasted away.
He played Robbie the Rotten.
I've never heard of this show.
I saw somebody posted that picture this morning.
Yeah, he was like the villain in Lazy Town. I don't know Lazy Town. I'm pretty.
Is this an English thing? I feel like this is an English thing.
I don't know.
Who posted it? That you saw this?
TMZ. What else? I just noticed it on Twitter. I didn't see anybody specifically that posted it. It must be.
I never heard that. So it was like for little kids, that type of show.
Yeah, it's a children's show called Lazy Town. I don't know. I have to look it up because the character, it reminds me of if any of you guys seen in the 90s seen the Primus videos with the plastic people.
Oh, I know this show.
You know what I'm saying? The plastic look to the people's faces and shit.
Yeah, I remember that show. Oh, it was awful. God, fuck, where was that from? It used to be on some horrible network. That's all I remember. It was on Nickelodeon.
It was on SHN.
Yeah, it was a Nickelodeon show. You're right.
It was a Nickelodeon show, and it was a BBC thing too. If I'm not mistaken. Because I remember that they looked kind of like what was that show? It was like Shark Boy and It was a Disney thing. They
there
were
was a movie
spies.
called Shark Boy,
Lava Girl and Shark Boy or whatever it was.
Yeah, it kind of resembles that too. Yeah, you're right. That weird shit.
But with more plasticky makeup. Yeah, it was bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great loss. I guess
Nickelodeon had a lot of weird shit back in the day.
they really did.
Do y'all remember Today's Special?
I do.
No.
It was a show about a toy store, and at night I don't know what the black girl was. I guess she was like a janitor or
something like that.
Maybe she was like the night watchman. But basically there was this black chick who would stay when the store would close, and she would put like a magic beret on a mannequin, and he would turn into a white guy. And
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was weird as fuck.
It had the old. It was like the one guy was a puppet.
Yeah, they had some Muppets too. Yeah, or not Muppets, but yeah, puppets.
Yeah, the old Muppet puppet guy that was the security guard was he looked like he was a drunk. He had a big red nose. If I remember this. Yeah.
Well, they had a lot of weird.
Special.
Come join
That's
the
bizarre.
fun.
Yeah, I don't understand why there were those shows. I never understood kid shows. I still don't understand kid shows. That's some fucked up ones.
Yeah.
Like the polka dot door, that was fucked up. Book mice. Trying to remember.
I don't know those two.
The big comfy couch. You remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember Pinwheel.
Pinwheel, spin it around. Look at my fingers and see what I found, which sounds dirty when I sing it.
It really is dirty because it's, it's all about stinky fingers. It's awful.
Yeah, kids shows are fucked up, man. Like, and especially for kids shows from like the 80s. If you look at like the kids cartoons from the 80s, like really look at those fucking cartoons. Mm-hmm. Not the like like Mask and He-Man and G.I. Joe and the mostly the girls cartoons. You got the Smurfs, which are a bunch of dudes fucking one Smurf girl.
They never showed that. You can't prove it.
No, because eventually there was a young Smurf girl who was like 8, and they probably started fucking her because the Smurfs were pedophiles.
Right, but they also had a baby Smurf too.
No, and that's why Gargamel was so upset because he couldn't find anybody his size to do.
Right, exactly. So he was fucking the Smurfs too.
So he was actually it was going to be a crossover episode where he had a relationship with the Purple Pie Man from Purple Pie Peak from Strawberry Shortcake.
What about fucking the Snorks? The underwater Smurfs.
Yeah, snork along. It's a snorky snorkelation. Snork along. Come on, snork with me.
And then you had what was some of the other ones? Oh god, what was the Monchichis? You remember
Monchichis? Yeah, man. Remember they were like trying to pimp out those toys with these stuffed monkeys that sucked their thumbs.
Yeah,
man. And then they had the banana separately because
they wanted you to spend more money.
Yeah.
I really think the one of the most fucked up ones though was Rainbow Bright.
Okay.
It was.
You know what? This is fucked up. Rainbow Bright. You know what? I remember I was like, I don't even know. I was a little kid, really little kid, and my Aunt Lois and Uncle Max loved them to death. We're gone now, but my family wasn't huge into buying gifts. My grandmother never bought gifts for the grandkids or anything. We weren't a big gift family. But this one time, they decided for my birthday they were going to buy me a gift. And so we go the whole way. We drive 2.5 hours to go see them because they wanted to make a big deal of it. And like I said, I'm a little kid, so I was like, oh, this is a big deal. We're going there. And then my aunt and uncle come out, and they're like, we got you a birthday gift. And I was like, whoa, I'm a little kid, like, oh, my gosh, I'm getting a toy. This is awesome. So I was sitting there making this big deal. My dad's got, you remember the old camcorders that looked like something from like ABC Studios?
Oh, yeah, the big giant motherfuckers that weighed 700 pounds that you set on your shoulder and only rich people had? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, and only rich people had those things. But yeah, he had to set up the tripod and the whole thing to put the camera on because it weighed so fucking much. So he's making this big production of it. Here they bring out all this gigantic box in a couple small boxes. And I unwrap this shit. And I'm looking at what in the hell they got me. They got me every Rainbow Bright figurine playset and a fucking unicorn or where the fuck that horse was.
And then you started crying and said, "Thank you so much. It's what I always wanted."
I looked at them, and this is on camera. My dad, I wish we should have transferred that video. I guess the look on my face was something like utter, just shock, awe, and hatred. It was shock, awe, and hatred. It was so much stuff. And I just looked at my dad. I said, do I look like a girl? And they must have spent, and this was, in the time it was popular, they must have spent like $300-400 on this stuff.
At least. And then right now, if you still had that, we could get you like $3-4 grand.
Well, I don't. I have some of the figurines somewhere in a little box somewhere, but I threw most of it out. Well, anyway, later on, I get a box in the mail that was a gigantic. That's where I got my big fucking metal Voltron.
Awesome.
So that's because they relied on. They never went shopping. My aunt and uncle had people shop for them. So my aunt told the lady at the department store, just get him a lot of one thing that's very popular. So she got picked up Rainbow Bright.
No, Rainbow Bright, Rum's favorite TV show.
So I was like, what the fuck?
It's pretty awesome.
I think this story is bullshit. I think you wanted Rainbow Bright. I think you're trying to sound manly right now, and you're tarnishing the good name of your aunt and uncle in order.
No, I'm not. I love them to death. I just didn't know what in the world they were doing sometimes.
Yeah. So we've heard Rum with his weird gift. When I was a kid, my father used to tie fishing lures and stuff. He did his own flies and stuff like that.
I can do my own fly.
Ah, nice. And he fucking so he was always getting these weird packages in with like feathers and different kind of like pelts and shit to use to
sex toys.
Flies.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we were at my grandparents' house for one Christmas, and I got this big box, and they're like, "Buddy, it's for you." I was like, "Okay," and I'm probably, I don't know, 6, maybe somewhere around there, 6 or 7. And I go to open this box, and I stick my hand in it, and all I feel is fur, and I'm going, "This is for my dad. This is not for me, right?" I'm like, "This can't be for me." They're like, "No, it's yours." I'm like, "No, it's my dad's. Why would I get a box full of fur?" So,
and then one day you'll be a man and you'll want fur boxes, son.
Exactly. So I finally said, "All right." They said it's mine. So I pull what was out, and it was a giant stuffed Chewbacca.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now I have a flashback.
Which I still own today. It's somewhere.
That's very cool. But I got a flashback on your entire story was overly sexual.
It was, right?
It really was. Undoing your own flies and doing your own flies, putting your hand inside boxes.
Sorry, boxes.
Boxes full of beaver pelts and French tickling feathers, and it's a fucked up family, man. I don't know what the hell you came from, but that's weird. I like it. It's good stuff.
It was fun. It was good time.
It's a good childhood memory.
What about you, Adam? Is there any present that you opened up and you were like, "What the fuck"?
Did you ever get a beaver in a box, Adam?
Not till I was older. I don't know if I have any funny stories. Not from my childhood. My mom, when I was 20, no, not 20. I was like 19. She gave me a back massager.
You mean No way.
I mean, it was. But I was like,
where'd you get this?
Yeah, I was like, wait, I don't think this. What? You know? But,
Is this mine?
He's like, Mom, no.
No, did I ever tell you about the She-Ra story?
Maybe.
I'll tell it now because I maybe I told y'all, maybe I didn't. But I was huge into He-Man when I was a kid. You know, that was the thing at that point.
Fuck yeah.
In fact, that might be the first, I think, like toy craze, toy/TV show craze from my childhood. Because there was like He-Man, then Transformers and G.I. Joe came out around the same time, a little bit later, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was kind of where it ended. But so I loved He-Man. I wanted all the figures and stuff like that, and of course, eventually, the TV show introduced She-Ra so that they could have their She-Ra line. Well, you know, I loved He-Man, so why wouldn't I love She-Ra?
Right, because you had some badass villains in She-Ra, like Hordak and fucking Mosquitor and all these other cool characters.
And Gay Arrow Guy, yeah.
Right, yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. His name is Bo, by the way.
His name is Gator.
Gator. He was pink.
That should be an actual science fit, like cartoon villain, Gator. So one day, not long after She-Ra came out, my father came to me and he was like, "What you want for Christmas, bruh?" And I said, I want She-Ra, Dad." He said, "What the fuck is that?" And so I guess I pulled aside. You know, they used to send like Toys R Us magazines and shit like that back in the day.
Yeah, sure.
Or probably would have been KB Toys probably at that point.
Probably KB.
So I went and grabbed it and I showed it to him, and he looks at it for a second and he goes, "It's a doll, bruh." And I was like, "It's She-Ra, Dad." And he kind of sighs.
Just a disappointing sigh.
Walks away and he's like, "My son's a fucking faggot." And like he walked away. I did get the She-Ra though.
Well, you know, it's a thought.
No, I'm not saying nothing about your parents, man, but it had to be hard. You know, like my parents probably pretty much, if I wanted the shit in a box, they would probably get it for me.
Oh, I mean,
without even
shit your own box.
Well, I did get the She-Ra.
Well, that's true.
But
yeah, you're right.
I guess if that made and my mom wasn't part of that conversation, so you know. But I guess I should make my parents look better than, since y'all apparently didn't find that as funny. But
no, I find that very funny.
I thought it was hysterical.
But when towards the end, I mean, I guess it would have been a couple years later. Towards the end of the Transformers craze, Fortress Maximus was the big thing that Christmas.
Nice.
And, you know, I don't remember any conversation, but obviously I told my parents I want Fortress Maximus. And I didn't get Metroplex, but I wanted Fortress Maximus. And so for Christmas, a Christmas morning arrived. I woke up early, ran to the tree. Clearly didn't see anything big enough to be Fortress Maximus, and so I was like, shit, Santa didn't bring it. And then I was like, that motherfucker ate the cookies anyway. But so I went to instead of opening my presents, I was like, well, I got to take a shit. So I went to the bathroom and I sit on the toilet, take my shit. As I'm going out, so the way the bathroom worked at our house was the door opened to the mirror, and the toilet was to the right. So I get done on the toilet and I'm walking out, and something kind of catches my eye. And they had, I don't remember maybe they used shaving cream. I should ask my mom, but they had spray painted "Look under the cabinet," and I look under the cabinet, and they had wrapped the Fortress Maximus and stuck it underneath the bathroom cabinet.
You know why? Because they knew the first thing you would do was take a shit.
Well, no, I stopped to
Shit.
No, I stopped to look to see if it was there first before I. But
Shit.
You want to just keep yelling shit, Rum?
Shit. Shit.
Rum has Tourette's.
You would make a horrible parrot, Rum. Horrible.
Booty fucker. Shit.
Someday you gotta remind me to tell you of. I'll save that episode or that conversation for October because it was a.
Was a good one.
It goes along the lines of the He-Man, She-Ra, and
Awesome.
but it's more of a costume-based thing. So
Well,
Awesome.
I do want to mention something very disappointing that I hope it just turns out to be a rumor.
Okay.
Speaking of childhood. So, Disney's been on this kick where they've been remaking all their old movies into live-action versions.
Yeah.
right.
And with some success, some of them, I like Maleficent. I like Beauty and the Beast. I don't remember what the other one was. Oh, I didn't even see Cinderella.
And Jungle Book.
I didn't see that one either. So
Jungle Book was good. I enjoyed Jungle Book.
right now, they're supposed to be in the midst of Mulan and Aladdin, and those are supposed to be coming out in the next year or so. And then now they're planning the Little Mermaid remake or the live-action version.
But all the actors and actresses keep drowning.
Tell me Guillermo Guitoro is gonna be the director.
Guillermo del Toro? No, he's not gonna. It's not gonna be a fish movie, or a sexy fish movie anyway. So no, the person that supposedly Disney is looking at to play the Little Mermaid is Zendaya.
The black girl?
Well, she's mixed, but yeah.
That's the same black girl or Spanish girl or whatever she was that was Mary Jane?
I think she's half black, half white. But yeah, the one with the whole Mary Jane controversy, which she wasn't. I mean, they still kind of like thumbed their nose at people, but she wasn't Mary Jane Watson. But yeah. I'm just like, man, they just don't learn to listen, do they? Like, they're just going to keep doing this shit.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
To me, that's it doesn't. Maybe I don't know. I can kind of see more Little Mermaid than.
I can see her playing Jasmine.
I think. Yeah, she'd make a good Jasmine.
Right.
I think, but isn't it kind of funny that they keep trying to portray her, or at least is this the rumor mill that's going around? That's what they're going to do to her. Maybe cast her as Little Mermaid.
I don't know if it's guaranteed that she's going to be in the film or not, but supposedly.
I think it's just people trying to stir that back up again because what are the odds they try to cast her again in a extremely white redhead role?
It's probably better than you think it is. I mean, look,
I think it's a
I think Warwick Davis should play Ursula.
I mean, I wouldn't lose my shit if they cast her. I just think, like, why are you doing this? Like, what?
You just can't do it to Brave.
And again, I really, really like Zendaya. I think she's beautiful. I think she's very talented. I like her music. Well, I mean, I've only heard one song that she's ever done, but I'm not down with all this. Like, oh, we need to recast. Racially and gender wise, we need to recast all these characters. The same thing with the whole Idris Elba, James Bond thing. Now, I think Idris Elba's awesome, and there's actually a comic book that I read called Injection that has a black kind of. He's not really James Bondish, but there's a black spy that I think he would like if they ever made a movie version of that. I think he'd be very cool, but. James Bond, like honestly, I wouldn't be horrified if they just stopped making those movies for a while. But it's just, why do it? Like, why can't you just make new stuff? Or, if you want Zendaya to be a mermaid or even a main character in that movie, I don't see why not. But why recast it racially just to fulfill this audience that's not really there?
Yeah, just to satisfy. Yeah.
You know what we're gonna do? I think they need to make a. What is it? The fucking what was that Whoopi Goldberg movie? What's it called? Telephone or phone?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say The Color Purple.
No.
She's in that movie too.
Yeah. That would be funny.
I don't know.
Want to recast the Whoopi Goldberg movie, Color Purple, with all white cast?
So somebody posted this satire article. I didn't read the article. I just read the headline, and it said Scarlett Johansson cast as first black James Bond, and I was like, you know what? This is a joke, but I'd really like to see this movie. Like I want to see Scarlett Johansson being the most like racially insensitive like black impersonation, like straight up just being Samuel L. Jackson banging women with like names like Vagina Hammock and Nelly Comes Twice, and then killing spies. That would be an amazing movie.
I like Vagina Hammock. That's my favorite.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Well, we already had like one of the most racially unsensitive movies of all time. It came out in the 80s. It was called Soul Man, where a fucking white dude dyed himself black.
Hey, that was a good movie. And it starred,
I think that brought the people together.
Ray Don Chong and Darth Vader himself.
But
yep.
James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones.
I was like, who was the main guy?
I was about to say Mustafa. It was C. Thomas Howell.
Yes, right. Which I got to meet. I shook his hand. He's a very nice guy.
He was on the track team. You know what they used to say? C. Thomas Howell run.
You're so fucking stupid. But yeah. So that movie, along with movies like Blazing Saddles and a few other films, would never be made around now because it'd be too. Oh no, you can't do that.
I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed Soul Man, including the part where he pretended to be a militant Muslim and showed up dressed like Michael Jackson. But I don't think that movie needs to be made again.
Oh no, I'm saying those movies could not be made today.
Oh, I think it should be. I think we're just taking ourselves too seriously anymore.
Oh, speaking of remakes of movies, I was talking to our friend Travis Hymel about terrible old movies, and I had an idea for a movie remake that I think would be amazing, and I think we should start a hashtag.
All right.
Okay.
To get this trend going. Do y'all remember If Looks Could Kill, starring one Mr. Richard Grieco?
Yes, it was a great movie.
I do.
Okay. Like Rum said, great movie. Utter nonsense, but great movie.
Yeah.
I want to see that movie remade with Zac Efron.
Oh, that would be good. I could see it. I could definitely see it. He kind of looked like, what's his name? The guy I can't stand. Richard Grieco.
John Stamos?
Yes, he had that John Stamos air in that movie.
You want to hear something funny? The reason that came up was because John Stamos did a spy movie.
Yes, he did.
Let me pull it up. It was called, You're Never Too Young to Die.
Right.
And I didn't see it. Travis was telling me about it. So basically, John Stamos plays this gymnast at a boarding school who's always waiting for his dad to come and visit him. His dad is played, by the way, by... he was one of the James Bond... He was the Australian James Bond. Can't think of his name.
Oh, he was a white guy.
Yes.
He was a white guy. Yeah, Rum. He was a white guy. George Lazenby. That's who he was.
Yeah, he was the only one that nobody remembers.
Yeah, Lazy B. Yeah, that's what his friends call.
Lazy B.
He was only in one episode.
Buzz, motherfucker. Lazy B in the house.
So, okay. So, John Stamos' dad in the movie is George Lazenby. And so, basically, the dad dies, and John Stamos finds out that his dad was a spy. And so he basically has to take over the family business, and he has to fight Gene Simmons, who is apparently a drag queen or a transgender, something like that.
I don't remember that.
That's the...
Gene Simmons was the bad guy. I just know that.
Yeah.
I need to watch this film.
It's supposedly both amazing and horrible. It's called what did I say it was called? If you're never too young to die. There you go.
Oh, I was thinking The Spy That Ate My Ass.
That was close. That was close.
I mean,
that was Stormy Daniels' first movie.
She could eat my ass. Anyway, but no, it's just funny that you mentioned John Stamos because that's how that came up. We were talking because Travis is going to. There's a live taping of How Did This Get Made in Colorado that he and his lovely wife are going to, and so we were just talking about like bad movies and stuff like that. And y'all remember The Experts with John Travolta and Ari Gross?
Mm-hmm.
I do not.
That was a funny movie.
That was a great movie. It's the only movie, to my knowledge, that John Travolta and his wife Kelly Preston starred in together. And it was basically about these two doofuses in New York who wanted to start their own dance club, but no one would give them money. So one day this guy comes up to him and he says, look, I represent this small town in, like, I think it was Kansas or something like that, you know.
It was Kansas.
Huh?
I think it was Kansas.
Well, so he's like, we want to fund your club, but you gotta open in Kansas. And they're like, cool. And so they go to Kansas and they try, they start building this club, but the whole town is kind of like set in the 1950s.
It's Russian spies.
Well, I was going to get to that. Thanks.
Oh.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, so the whole town is acting like it's the 1950s, and it turns out that they're all KGB agents who are being trained to be sleeper agents, but they don't know what's cool in America in the modern day in the 1980s, so they brought in these guys to teach them how to be cool American people. And
right. It was really well done, I thought. It was funny.
It was funny.
But in the way they got them to quote-unquote Kansas was they put bags on their heads and they've ended up putting them on a plane to Russia.
Yeah.
It really wasn't Kansas.
Well, there's actually, this is really obscure, but there's a lot of that movie that I've occasionally, like, said to people that no one really gets the reference, but so this town is top secret. No one else in Russia besides the KGB knows about it. But they still need supplies dropped, especially once the two experts come in, because they're like, we need modern records and stuff like that and modern clothing. And so this Russian pilot flies in, and the KGB immediately arrest him. And he's like, what? Like, what did I do? What did I do? He's, and they're like, look, we're sorry, but you're not going anywhere. And he's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have stole it. And they're like, what? And he pulls out a wad of condoms like 4 feet long. And they're kind of quiet. And he goes, the ladies, they think I'm quite the guy. So, look, I'm a moron. But it's one of those lines that just stuck in my head.
That's so funny. Wait, hold on a second. You know what that was?
No.
Mental pause.
He did it again.
All right, I think we're done. I think we're ending on mental pause, yeah.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
But anyway.
Well,
all right,
fun.
guys. That was fun. It was a good show.
Yeah. Hey, who the hell are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Bob.
You are Bob.
I know. Ha! Anyway, I was your host, Wayne.
He was Bob. I'm Adam.
And I'm the magnificent Rum Guy.
Fuck off. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to always keep it metal.
Metal.
All right. And that was Sharknado.